So this one, no one expected it. Marvel has just revealed to us the very first glimpses of the movie Thunderbolts, and they did well because we have a 3-minute teaser. And that's huge and quite rare to be underlined. Some may not have heard of this project, or maybe even that you have forgotten some characters. That's why today I come back on this trailer, dissect it, reveal its secrets, as well as the characters hidden in it. And there is still a job. At least thanks to this video, you won't be lost. You'll know who the members of the team are, and you'll discover all the mysteries left. Come on, let's go. But just before, don't forget to subscribe because we are missing 205 people for the 1,000 subscribers. In this teaser, we discover the entire Thunderbolts team, but in a rather vague way, it's hard to really understand why, how. For the moment, let's focus on the characters that have been revealed to us. We find the one we have left for a while, the one that, since the death of Natasha Romanoff, her older sister is no longer the same. Yelena Belova, who appeared for the first time in Black Widow, makes her entrance with some thoughts, some little words. After visiting Clint in Hawkeye, she never ceases to be tormented by life. She, who gradually becomes the new Black Widow, goes to her adoptive father to speak and evoke what she has on her heart. So we find Red Guardian there. This one has not been seen for a while, but he will make his big comeback. Yelena's call will certainly make him put on his costume to be on his side in this new fight that awaits them. The Russian Captain America will get out of his depression to try his redemption. And it would not be worse because he is about to brush his teeth with lemon peck. So at least it will be disinfected. However, he may shit bubbles. To accompany them, always seen for the first time in the Black Widow movie, it's Taskmaster. The character who was the enemy in this one will also come back. With a different and remodeled costume, the latter will team up with the one she chased and tried to unconsciously kill. But given the plans that bring them all together, and individual plans, we don't see her much. So it wouldn't surprise me if she ends up being the first victim character and that she dies. Taskmaster is not the only character out of the hat who will make his big comeback. This character may not tell you anything, and yet if you've seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, you've obviously seen it. It's Ghost, whose properties and powers will be very different from the other characters that will make up the team, with the exception that in Ant-Man and the Wasp, the latter was supposed to be healed. Here we see her having her powers, but she seems to be controlling them. In any case, it will be interesting to discover all this and to have someone with supernatural powers in this beautiful brooch. Well, and it's not over with this team. We have 2 left, one who has become a dad and who also has the hat of the most hated man in America, U.S. Agent. This Captain America will make his big comeback after having discovered him alongside Bucky and Sam in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. In the latest news, he was recovered by Countess Valentina for a goal that we ignore, or that we would ignore since Thunderbolt would be the conclusion to this plot. As soon as we talk about the Countess, let's take advantage of it because she also makes her appearance in the trailer. Countess Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine is the head of the CIA, not just any organization. She is the one who brings together the Thunderbolts, because if in the past we could have her alongside Yelena, or U.S. Agent, it would seem that she had the ambition to set up a real shock team, a team of characters who have all done bad things, but who are not designated for as much as villains. This plan would be their first meeting. Valentina would have contacted them all to meet at the same place, but given the character of each one, the meeting seems hostile. During this fight, a character who may seem random makes his appearance. This is Bob, that's how he is nicknamed, but Bob is an extremely powerful and different character from his brothers. He is the one called in the comics Robert Reynolds, aka Sentry, one of the most powerful and craziest Marvel characters at the same time. Sentry could be here a creation of Countess Valentina in order to create a superhuman from a recreation of a super soldier serum. And besides, some ingredients could have been recovered by Yelena, because we see her on this plan have syringes with a chemical product. Yelena working in the past for the Countess. This could have been part of one of her missions. Why have created Sentry? It remains an unanswered question at the moment. But the intentions of the Countess are not good. She is a manipulator, and that's very well what she does. To put in the pocket a team of mercenaries and create a superhuman from a serum that no longer exists cannot be done without diabolical thought. Valentina was able to create, or rather modify, this man in a discreet way, make him crazy, and make him act for her without anyone knowing it. This one declaring himself as a threat to the world, the state and the army would be against him. Valentina would do nothing, would hire the Thunderbolts to rub against him and try to stop him so that she becomes a heroine while she is the one who created her in the optics of manipulating everyone and having a certain power. The Thunderbolts are not stupid and could turn against her when they know all her secrets. Through the teaser, we can notice a lot of secrets on Sentry. Already here, we discover his belt. At that moment, we see what seems to be his boots. Even if a theory would say, and that could stick, that it is the latter, that of Zemo, an ultra-important character of the team in the comics, who should not be there and would be more or less replaced by Countess Valentina, but his presence remains a hypothesis. Still, in relation to Sentry, we see analyses or what seem to be character creation sheets. Several including one resembling his logo of the comics. Sentry is a character cut in two, the good part and the bad part. The bad part is the Void, and the good part is Sentry, even if Sentry is the assembly of everything. Reynolds in the comics and Bob right here, he goes crazy, and that's what created later, a little later, the Void. It's a kind of psychic presence he has in him. Anyway, it's pretty complicated, but to make it bigger and make sure everyone understands, Sentry has good and bad. He is both nice and bad. And it could be that in the trailer at that moment, the negative entity of Sentry, called the Void, is out. We just see a reaction of Yelena, who seems to be surprised by what she sees. And to surprise and frighten her, it takes a lot. Let's say she's been through some horrors. And we don't wonder how this thing could not surprise anyone. Reactors are on, which could be the way to make Sentry transform in the movie. It could be a test of the Countess to see if her apprentices are fit. Fairly sadistic as a way, since we're dealing with one of the most powerful characters, and it would suit him pretty well. Another character that I haven't mentioned yet is part of the team, the great Bucky Barnes. But he, before being part of the team, seems to have become an employee of the CIA. Maybe the bodyguard of Countess Valentina, the CEO, or simply a high-ranking agent. Because if we look at this shot, he has a pin, and it's the logo of the CIA. After the events of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, he was able to repent and put himself in an organization fighting against evil and acting for a good cause, the CIA. A cause that seemed to him just a bonus. Since his return as a Winter Soldier, I absolutely don't believe it. It would make no sense with the series where he was developed. By the way, an interesting image that could show that Thunderbolt would turn against the Countess. It's this image when Bucky looks at her, he has a very worrisome look. And in my opinion, he suspects that Countess Valentina is hiding things. By the way, on this same shot, in this mundane evening where they are, this is a party in honor of the glory of the Avengers. And we see the scepter of this good old Loki. So no, Loki will not be present in this film, at least I don't think so. And the presence of the scepter should not indicate that Loki is there. That said, it indicates something much more symbolic. It would seem that in the film, we have the big return and the big answer to our question, what becomes the Avengers Tower? So it's a theory, but already, these shots when they meet make a lot of thought to the basement of what was the Stark Tower. Then this large space, and with this view, also makes a lot of thought to the Avengers Tower. And this large hall could also be part of the Avengers Tower. A bit like an inauguration by Valentina after the purchase of this place. This Avengers Tower should be the property of Countess Valentina, and therefore the HQ of the Thunderbolts, which could later become the Dark Avengers. The theme in the basement and in the tower does not indicate the opposite in any case. Well, I think I've gone around the secrets about the Thunderbolts trailer. If I missed any, or if you also have questions or things you have not understood, in this case, do not hesitate to put me in comment. I will try to answer. If you liked the video, do not hesitate to subscribe and activate the bell to follow the next adventures. We'll meet again very soon.